and thank you for joining me. This is the Noob Tanker here, and today I will be showcasing the Crusader, that Tier 5 British medium tank in the same line as the Cromwell and the Comet. And just like the Comet and the Cromwells, this is a flanking medium. It is not a brawler. It does not have armor to speak of. Its gun handling at range is not all that great, so it's not even a real solid sniper. But what it does have is a gun that fires fast and frequently. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but once you get on a target, and especially if you're maybe circling them, you have a shot to bring them down pretty quick. So we're going to get started here, and we are starting on the north side of Corellia. And when I do start on the north side of Corellia, I am not a big fan of trying to rush hill on this particular tank, simply because it does not have the speed to get there quickly and it tends to get caught out. So instead, I'm going to try to use that little more maneuverability, get up into the north here and see if I can affect some pressure from here and support the hill the best I can with some supporting fire. And one of the hard things that I run into with this tank is because it is not particularly good gun handling in terms of its dispersion values, you tend to have some difficulty with hitting shots at range, in particular hitting a sort of anything close to a weak spot. So as I come up here, we get the Chaffee that gets spotted, and I also notice that we have the AMX-12T. So I turn to try to support our Cromwell that is climbing the hill there. As you watch, this gun bloom is so large I can't really risk taking shots here because I'll probably bury it in the back of the Cromwell. So I'm trying the best I can to kind of lead a shot out in front of it, and end up pretty much just missing most of the entire time. Cromwell takes care of it, so I start turning back up. We see that this Crusader gets caught out, and one into him, and then he goes boom. Probably regretting his life choices right about there. So I duck in behind these rocks, trying to avoid any fire from the TD's camping base. And now I'm working my way up with the faster tanks. And as I'm approaching this, I realize we got a lot of support here already. So I start to work along this outside edge, trying to see if I can't catch out one of these other tanks, hoping not to get spotted. The LC is in trouble, try to get some shots on the Chaffee. Got a bad shot there with the auto aim. And now the 25 TP. This is where the quickness, while you're not really fast, comes into play. And that just rapid fire gun. You're able to chew through an enemy fairly quickly. And now, because I've been hit from the hill, I'm ducking behind these rocks. And my team has already taken care of everything behind me. So I'm going to sit back here, give a couple seconds for myself to go dark. Type 64 comes up, a lot braver than I am, just goes barreling on in there. So decided I better go and support. And this is where being a somewhat maneuverable tank, but not real fast, kind of hinders you because I can't keep up with that Type 64. And that's going to end up probably causing some problems for the Type 64 here in a second, and that he's currently unsupported and nobody can take advantage of the distractions he's causing, and then he gets taken out. Now we got 3 Arties here. MX-13 misses, and I am trying to find shots on one of the 3. I'm not sure who's all fired. MX or M44 rushes me. Quick shot off there, and now I'm just trying to get down below this hill, assuming that the M44 is probably reloaded at this point or getting close to it, and now trying to poke up here using gun compression to get some shots on it. M44 realizes I can shoot him, so he's going to start charging, and I do try to go for a tracking shot on one of those and completely miss it, but because of the rapid reload, I'm able to come back and secure the kill before he kills me. I duck in here, expecting the AMX-13 to be close to being reloaded, trying to splash. No, it doesn't have a large splash radius, but I'm a pretty fragile tank. So start to tentatively push, trying not to get shotgunned, trying to work some of these small ridge lines that are in this cap circle and not trying to go straight through it. Warn them up here, and this is where I run into the ARL. Because I'm not a brawling tank, I really did not want to push into that directly. I'd rather try to flank it, try to get a better shot, especially since he's kind of in a haul down position there. I don't have a lot to hit. And I'm seeing that the KV-1S is coming up to support me as well, so I'm waiting for that KV-1S to get closer, and then I'm going to try to go and support him. And I kind of make a muppet job of it here. I should have been a little bit more aggressive. I do take the track shot here. The aerial takes the KV-1S. And right there I should have just went ahead and charged in. Instead, I didn't, and that arrow gets finished. Now, we are up with a total of 5 tanks, but we are going to have the T-64 showing up with our Arty here in a second, and I head back to cap, and the KV-1S is going to go ahead and come back and cap as well. We could try to push this. I get a little nervous trying to push in a tank like the Crusader here, simply because I am likely a 1 or 2 shot to some of these other tanks here. T-67 I probably could take a shot from, but T-67 is going to see me before I see it. Here I'm just trying to see if I can knock down the middle structures in the cap, trying to get, if that AMX-13 is looking towards cap, to shoot, to try to blind fire. Maybe think I drove through the middle there. And then after that I just go ahead and tuck in. We got the T-34 coming up. And I'm just counting down the base counter here, and I'm seeing that we're likely going to cap it out. And then I'm going to go ahead and get pre-aimed. KV-1S is looking this way. T-34 comes for the hero play and dies. Probably the worst thing there is I missed the tracking shot, which would have made that even safer for us. But at that point we were pretty much game in hand. It would have been really hard for just the one Arty and the T-67 to come back. But it's better to secure the win and win than to try to risk it and kill all and end up throwing a game that you have in hand. So this is a pretty good result, I feel, with the Crusader. 951 total damage, couple spots, not any real spotting assist or damage blocked. Don't count them damage blocked with the Crusader. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple other games I had that show some different game style play out of this, which usually is more typical of what happens with it. So my second battle today, I'm going to show the Crusader on Runeberg, and I went to a position I normally don't go to, which is the G1 position. I normally will go field in a medium tank or a light tank, but I wanted to try out to see if I could use this as a flanking position and if the Crusader could make this work. Now, because I am expecting to see heavy tanks and my gun's just not real accurate and I kind of suck, I chose to load extra skill by dabbing that 2 key. And we're going to go ahead and see what sort of result we can get off this position. Now I start off watching the 1 line. I'm used to having either light or medium. Go ahead and poke that, maybe a TD, end up getting spotted, and now I'm still watching, expecting somebody to pop out and take a shot here. Instead I just get caught by the Churchill 3 because I pulled too far out and gave him my turret. One of the things I noticed in the replay that I didn't really notice at the time of the game is being way too passive and not getting my gun into the game. And instead I'm sitting here pretty much trying to get myself go dark, get them to go forget about me, and really not helping my teammates by pulling guns, allowing all of them to stare at one guy and make him go away. So again, I take 1 shot, pull back. I should really be working on that WZ there, pulling out at an angle and just expose myself just to him to shoot him. Horrible shot up and over the WZ. And a couple other things occur there. Miracles happen, a couple RNG love from me with the ricochets. I'm going to take that, which is a rarity. And I also noticed that the WZ started sneaking around the building. So I'm expecting him to pop up at this corner and start to pre-aim. And there he is. Get the shot on the cheek. And get a little greedy here, knowing that he's staring at me. Put that one right into the berm in front of me. Wonderful gun handling. And then this is just all me being a bad player, not getting a shot back. And that's a bad trade. Cannot trade the one shot for one shot with the WZ. Definitely going to get the better out of that over me anytime, any day. Meanwhile, their Churchill 3 has gone ahead and pushed aggressively forward. Nashorn takes a nice shot in the side, brings his health down low. I come in, put a second shot in, and unfortunately, Nashorn goes Louis, and might be back in the garage regretting those life choices. I'm going to try to go back towards my team, try to get back with my support, and happen to catch this Matilda 4. And I'm trying to aim right at the top of the tracks, hoping to track as well as go into his hull. Unfortunately, that's not happening. I'm feeling good. I think I got him beat on the reload. Give one more shot. He misses. Ricochets.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
And I decide to stay right in front of his gun. So, yeah. Off that ricochet, I should have pulled back right away. Instead, I tempted fate, and Matilda just ended my game for me. This position, it works okay. I think the gun handling would be workable if I was just being more aggressive. Too passive on the sides there, not trading well with the WZ. And as a result, I don't have the hit points here to take even a shot from the Matilda 4. Did nice work against the Matilda 4, got him to miss a couple shots, and that overall fast firing gun really paid off there. And had I not bounced that last shot, just a bad luck or bad aim, probably a little bit of both, and I'm still in the game for another shot of damage somewhere else. Very typical of what I see with the Crusader play so far is as long as you're on the flanks, you got a shot. Once you have to start going one-on-one, especially with anything with armor, you're going to struggle, and you're going to usually come out a little worse than the trades if you just sit right in front of their face and take their shots like I just did. And the final battle today will be on the Polish map, and I'm going to be pushing towards that A5-6 area where we got those bushes that allow us to get side shots into the heavy tanks and the building complex. And really what we should call this video is how can I continue to make bad decisions the entire game. And I want to kind of highlight just how sometimes we get comfortable in what we're doing, we try to change things up, and we make really bad decisions that even as you're doing it, you know you're wrong, but you just keep doing it, and this is what makes me a noob and makes all of us noobs at times. So starting off, I see the T-37s going up to the spot. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go ahead and just be a little passive and try to see if I can't help with some supporting fire. I realize that T-50-2 is not being real aggressive. I'm not going to get a lot of shots from back here. We already have quite a few tanks committed here, which would tell me I'm probably a little better off going somewhere else. Now the other thing that would have also been smart to identify is the fact that we don't even have heavy tanks here, so pushing towards this heavy tank side was probably originally a bad decision, right? So things are just going from good, bad to worse, and it only was good when I really did the game. Now I go ahead and try to take down these walls. Just in the past, I know we've had tanks that have been hiding back here and hoping to open up maybe some shots into them. But of course there's nothing there, and our team in the city, in the building area, is pushing fairly aggressive forward, and they're not lighting anything. Okay, we finally get the T-67 lit. Maybe our guys on the hill will have a shot. And at this point, I make one of those decisions that at the time that I pull around here, I'm thinking maybe I can go out here and get flanking shots on the T50-2. And it's right about at this moment, there's this little voice going off in my head that says, yeah, you just effed up. And without a doubt, this is a dumb, dumb play. Get lit, and here comes the supporting fire from all the bush campers.
Bail out. This vehicle is
Yeah, I done effed up.